Hello everyone to this video. Here we'll be discussing a case study on the competitive advantage of Hewlett Packard. Hewlett Packard is a world-renowned US-based IT solutions company which is pretty famous all around the world for providing personal computers, and I'm sure that most of us have heard about the brand. This case study is done by me, Rinju Varghese, and my teammate Steffy. Let's quickly move on to the summary of the case study. HP started out in the year 1932, and since then they have pioneered the information systems, the information technology, and the services that customers as well as businesses could get. And they grew out to be a leading player in information technology and all the related services, especially in the rise of information, due to the rise of information technology in the last 2 decades. And this rapid rise happened due to the incredible efforts that they have put into the competitive advantage. And one thing that HP have always been successful in is that they have been pretty consistent with it. More often than not, we find many firms toppling, many firms tumbling because of the poor management and the inability of firms to be consistent with whatever they do. HP is a great example for those firms because HP have created systems over the years, have taken necessary decisions that have enabled them to be competitive and sustainable at the same time. This is a feat that many firms fail to achieve, and for this, the efforts of HP and the team have to be lauded. Another interesting thing that we can find here is HP not only focuses on providing good quality products and services, but rather they also focus on their employees a lot. And by a lot, I mean to an extent that is pretty astounding to believe, to be honest. HP is actually known for treating their employees pretty incredibly well. And by this, I mean that many employees are given trainings and programs. They are given many opportunities to upskill themselves so that they can work in multiple dimensions within that particular organization. By doing so, the person's abilities will not be limited, and this turns out to be a huge advantage for any employee and will also enable them to have growth opportunities. The constant yet rapid rise of HP saw them become the largest personal computer provider and the sixth largest IT firm in the world by the year 2006. Later on, they climbed up the ladders and still is one of the major players in the IT industry. Quickly moving on to the problems that we could identify from this case. The major challenges that HP faced over the years was developing competitive advantage. We all know that developing competitive advantage is probably the most difficult part of any firm, especially considering a firm that belongs to the IT industry where the competition is brutal. And a company like HP have strived so as to bring new innovations and changes so that people can be benefited. And this is actually a pretty huge feat. So this is a problem that HP have faced over the years, and developing competitive advantage was the first point. Second is sustaining competitive advantage. By this, we mean the difficulty in keeping up with the competitive advantage. You have see it is easy, it is relatively easier to gain competitive advantage, but the hardest part is to keep on with this, keep on going, keep up that level and be consistent with it. Constant improvement is a must, especially for big firms who have a lot to lose. The third point is providing employee training. To upskill the employees is always a major challenge that every firm faces, and HP they actually had to find creative ways so that they can utilize their employees for the benefit of the firm itself. Underperforming employees had to be trained, and they had to be given special care so that they could be as flexible in their work as possible. The fourth point is reducing costs or improving profit margins. Sustaining competitive advantage can only marginally help a firm to achieve profit margins. and a lot more have to be done. HP had a lot to do to increase those profit margins, namely by releasing new products or by constantly recognizing the trends in the market through good analysis or analyzing customer taste and preferences so that they can release those products and trying to expand the services in general, because all those will really help the firm to grow exponentially. So those were the problems that we could identify. Let's quickly move on to the solutions. We have some questions over here and we will try to find the answer. The first question is how HP's information system is different from its competitors. Since the entire case study was about HP's competitive advantage, one of the major factors in HP gaining the competitive advantage was because of their information systems. The primary difference between HP's information system and the information system of, say, other IT giants was that HP's information system were created to enable various set of information to be gathered under one roof. So we can directly say, we can say that the priority was given in collecting knowledge. By gathering all the information under one roof, they could make all the work quite easier to perform. Further, focus was given on collecting knowledge and disseminating the same according to the needs within the firm. This also meant that the systems were built in such a way that it is capable to make tasks take less time, and hence efficiency was also guaranteed. As a firm, HP gave paramount importance to their workforce and they could pull off a strategic masterclass, we can say, with the help of an efficient and effective information system. Additionally, the efforts that HP have put in developing their supply chain management by creating effective systems is also to be mentioned. The second question is, what are the benefits that HP have reaped from its information systems? We can say that HP could enjoy some benefits due to the way its information systems worked. Some benefits include improvement in the workforce. We have already seen the improvements that HP could bring in their workforce because of the way knowledge and the work was integrated. Employees with medium level of skill were trained so that they could handle multiple works, and this is always something that many other firms can take as inspiration. Additionally, supply chain was also enhanced and delays were considerably controlled. The constant analysis of collected data could also help HP to gauge the trends and customer requirements. And also, this could enable HP to develop adequate solutions before their competitors could. So, that's how they could gain the competitive advantage. The last and the final question is HP has sustainable competitive advantage. Yes, one can conclusively say that HP has sustainable competitive advantage, and however, this is a result of constant improvements that HP has focused on bringing within their work systems. HP could see the gap that was wide open in the market, especially during the early 2000s, and HP cleverly used the gap to initiate better customer and market knowledge. They also ensured that their employees are capable enough to meet the ever rising demand from the market. To compete with big companies like IBM, Dell, etc. is quite a difficult task in itself, but the efforts put by HP to strive for excellence rightly helped them pass the challenge with flying colors. The proof of their competitive advantage was the sales they could complete over the years and the spot of number one in terms of personal computers sold. HP stands right on top among the major IT companies in the world. The most important point to consider, however, is the initiative taken by HP to try new grounds to expand and improve themselves as a tech firm, and this is something many other IT firms or any firm can take as a lesson. So that's all for the case study. Thank you so much.